Hello, you're very welcome. My name's Anand and I'm an emotional wellness coach and also a meditation coach, and I help those with inner struggles to uncover their inner richness. And in today's video, I'm going to explore a bit about meditation. And this time I'm going to talk about meditations for all types of people, and particularly drawing from the Osho Book of Secrets. But before I kind of talk about that and the fact that there is pretty much a meditation for every type of person, I'm just going to share a little bit about what is meditation. Because many of us think that meditation is this very difficult, complicated thing that we have to stay silent with no thoughts. And I do talk about this in another video that you can see above here. It's 3 myths about meditation. So for me, I'm really drawn to Osho's meditations. I started in 2013 with his active meditations, Osho active meditations. And what I love about them is you use an activity first before moving into silence, because my mind was so busy I just couldn't sit still. And I'm sure many of you may experience that. And from that early beginning of meditating, feeling some peace inside, something different, something changing, my meditation practice has grown so much since then that I can't even remember how I was, other than before I was meditating, I felt very down and depressed. And it's not like moments of sorrow or depression don't come back, but it's meditation supports me when I'm in those moments. But it's given me so much. So the reason I'm drawn to Osho's meditations, as I said, you use an activity first, but also there's something about what he says, it really speaks to me. And even just, so this book here, it's called Meditation, the First and Last Freedom. And here's what he says about meditation. And I love this because it somewhat debunks a lot of misinformation out there. Watching is meditation. What you watch is irrelevant. You can watch the trees. You can watch the river. You can watch the clouds. You can watch children playing around. Watching is meditation. What you watch is not the point. The object is not the point. The quality of observation, the quality of being aware and alert, that's what meditation is. Remember one thing, meditation means awareness. Whatsoever you do with awareness is meditation. And so that's why I wanted to talk about the Book of Secrets, because what's incredible about this, it originates, so Osho gave a series of talks from 1971 to 72 on Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, which means, actually I can't remember, but I'll write it in the description box what it means. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it means about going beyond consciousness. But you're using, in this Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, which Osho talked about, and that was turned into a book called the Book of Secrets, it has 112 methods. And all of these methods bring about an awareness, or they help support us become aware, and they use an everyday activity. And so that's why I wanted to say that in this talk, there's meditations for everyone. Pretty much, if you want to experience meditation, you'll find a meditation in the Book of Secrets. Whether it's, you can use running as a meditation. And actually Osho has a running meditation, well it's a centering meditation that uses running. called Osho Mandala meditation. So you run for the first 15 minutes on the spot. Or you can use music as a doorway into meditation. Or certain sounds that you can use as a doorway into meditation. So in the Book of Secrets, there are meditations using sound, looking meditations for when we're doing an activity, whether it's a work activity, meditations using the breath, which what most of us are familiar with. There's meditations for darkness, using the darkness as a vehicle to move you into awareness. Meditations using light or visualizing energy going up through your spine. There's meditations that use sex as a form of jumping into awareness. And that's often what Tantra is most associated with. But actually Tantra means method. And it uses everything. It's sort of neither immoral or it's amoral. It goes above judging. It just uses whatever is in your everyday life, from going into sleep to dreaming to looking at an object, to sex, to playing, to our desires. There's one there where you face your desire and drop it. It literally uses every aspect of our lives, or every element that we may struggle with. There's a series of about 3 meditations where you can use the fact that you're identified to something as a vehicle to go into awareness. And so that's why with the Book of Secrets, there really is a meditation for every type of person. And if you decide, I'm really curious, I want to explore these, what you can do is just try a technique we'll see which one you're drawn to, and then just try a technique for 3 days. And if you feel like, yes, that technique clicks with me, practice it for 3 months. That's what Osho recommends. And that way, when you go very deep into one type of meditation, that then makes it easier over time to be able to move in and out of lots of different types of meditation techniques. That's certainly been my own experience. I've gone deep into, say, one meditation, gone very deep, and then I have found that my awareness, whether it's when I'm in work, or whether I'm talking to somebody, or I'm doing an activity, or even just being really aware whilst driving my car, it expands outwards. So that's the beauty. Find one method in this Osho Book of Secrets out of the 112. Find which one clicks with you and do it for 3 months. And then Osho also talks about some signs that the method is working well for you. First of all, you will feel different. You will feel some sort of transformation. And I'd like to caveat here, everyone also makes this assumption or belief that when you start meditating, you will always feel calm, zen, peaceful, and there will be no clouds and no ruffles on the sea. And let me tell you, that's not actually the truth. Becoming more aware, as you meditate and you become more aware, you start to encounter yourself, your real self. And again, I talked about this with the masks we wear, where, we create a mask to kind of protect ourselves, but then the mask gets in the way. And I talked about how you can find your original face, and meditation really will enable you to encounter your original, or move down into your original face, to uncover your original face. But you have to go through various layers. And there are layers of repression, things that you've buried away, things that you didn't want to look at. And meditation, as you start to go deeper into meditation, you will start to hit those blocks. You will start to feel, you'll start to see things that you didn't want to see. But what I can say to you is keep going, because when you move through them, they go. That's certainly been my experience. There are many things that I've moved through, and when I move down through them and use awareness deeply and use different meditations, maybe for catharsis, Osho Dynamics, very good for that, they go. And they don't hold you anymore. You're not identified with the thing anymore. And sure, you'll encounter other stuff. And then you'll work through that with the meditation, with the awareness. But it frees you up, and then you stop, this non-attachment to certain things starts to drop away. It's not that, you have to use willpower. I'll give you my own example very quickly before I wrap up. I used to smoke all the time. I started when I was 12. And 5 years ago, I did a smoking meditation that Osho shares. And basically what it is it's not that you stop smoking, it's that you smoke with awareness. And I'm laughing because I went, okay, I'm going to smoke with awareness. And part of me didn't want to, because part of me bloody well knew what was going to happen. So I would open the packet and take out the cigarette and really feel it and stick it in my mouth, light it up, and it just... Initially it was like, oh, okay, I actually don't really like smoking, but I keep going. Then I noticed, I use cigarettes like a pacifier. And piece by piece, the more aware I became of the smoking, the more it dropped for me. I just couldn't smoke. And that was it. I haven't smoked since. That was over 5 years ago. And I had one longing about a year later, and it lasted for about 5 minutes. And that was it. I just waited. I watched that desire. Again, using the awareness, I watched the desire and it went. And so what I would say to you is take a look at the Book of Secrets. See if there's a technique that you think, yeah, I like the sound of that one. If you're really stuck when you get the book and you're thinking, I'm not really sure what they're talking about, I do have another channel, Osho Ireland, where I shared all of 112 of these. So if you want a shortcut, you can do that. I'll include a link in the description box below. So let me know if you get the Book of Secrets and you pick out a method and you think, yeah, I tried this. This was my experience. I'd love to hear it. Do let me know in the comment box below or drop me an email. And you can get my email from my Linktree link below. Have a great day and see you next week. Bye-bye.